Sephiroth, a name that many people not even familiar with the Final Fantasy series know. As part of arguably the biggest sub-franchise in the Final Fantasy series, Sephiroth, even in 2022, still holds his presence in the minds of RPG veterans and newcomers alike. From his inception in Final Fantasy VII, he has also appeared in games such as Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Little Big Planet, Kingdom Hearts, Puzzles and Dragons, and much more. With the recent addition to the Final Fantasy VII universe, the Final Fantasy VII Remake that is, we also see that Sephiroth's presence in the gaming media still holds relevant till this day. But I wanted to take you back to a time before the Sephiroth that we know of became a monster. Back to Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, which takes place 7 years before the event of the original Final Fantasy VII. In my normal analysis fashion, let's first take a look at Sephiroth's appearance before diving into key scenes from Crisis Core. According to the North American manuals, Sephiroth comes in around 6'1" and was born in Nibelheim, a small mountain village which is also the hometown of Cloud Strife and Tifa Lockhart. At the time of Crisis Core, Sephiroth is stated to be in his early 20s. His most distinct features are his long silver hair and green cat-like eyes that pierce into all who meets his gaze. He also sports black boots, trousers, and a long black coat with silver pauldrons on his shoulders. His weapon of choice is his Masamune, a 7-foot-long odachi, a Japanese longsword carried by foot soldiers that was used in open battlefields. While the blade is designed to slash with its long length, Sephiroth's preference for it is to impale his victims when given the chance. With a little more insight into Sephiroth's appearance out of the way now, let's focus on some of the key scenes of Crisis Core. In this first scene, take note of the concern in Sephiroth's voice towards Genesis and Angeal, who I will also cover in the future. Sephiroth bases his deduction of Angeal's betrayal from his actions as told by Zack.
Holy.
Genesis.
The missing soldier first class? They're identical.
A Genesis copy.
Copy? A human copy?
Where's Angeal?
I thought he was fighting around here.
So he's gone too.
What? Wait, what does that mean?
It means Angeal has betrayed us as well.
No way! I know what kind of guy Angeal is, and he'd never do that. Angeal wouldn't betray us. Never!
Notice how Zack is vocal about his thoughts and sees this whole ordeal as a potential mistake on Sephiroth's part for implying Angeal's betrayal. Sephiroth remains ambivalent towards Zack and presses forward. This could be taken as a cold-hearted move from Sephiroth, but if you separate yourself from the situation, it is simple. Sephiroth acts more than he speaks. He sees what is going on, applies a makeshift reason for that situation, and moves on. Does he truly believe Angeal betrayed them? No. But it's a lead he takes as he gathers more information.
Once Sector 8 is clear, come to Mako Reactor 5.
Did you find something out?
Angeal has been sighted.
So it's search and destroy?
The army is mobilizing, but there's still time. You and I will find them before they do. And
what?
fail to eliminate them.
We can see here Sephiroth's plan all along was simply to locate his friends. He is positive that whatever Angeal and Genesis may have done, it was for a specific reason.
For real?
Yes, for real.
Excellent! Probably.
It appears Genesis isn't the only one who can be copied. The company training room. We used to sneak in there for fun, when the seconds were out. Genesis, Angeal, and I.
You guys were pretty tight.
I wonder.
In this part, to save you the cinematics, we see a flashback of Sephiroth, Genesis, and Angeal going at it all Dragon Ball Z style.
So, was everything alright?
Yes. As far as Genesis was concerned. But as for Angeal...
Angeal? What happened?
Later, I received one of his famous lectures.
About what?
Always the same. Discipline, dreams, honor, etc.
Huh. One of those, huh?
Notice Zack's face from that statement. Sephiroth is reminiscing over Angeal in a way good friends would when they may be stressed. In a way, that statement helps solidify the relationship Sephiroth feels between himself and Angeal, showing these other people mean something to him.
So it's true. They're in league with Hollander.
How could this happen?
While there's dialogue in this scene, to those just listening, Sephiroth gazes into a pod full of Mako and says a wretched sight. This is an interesting point because it appears that Sephiroth has some sort of dissonance with the Makonoids contained within those pods. Though they were once human, due to the exposure of Mako, they became monsters essentially. Why Sephiroth has a strong distaste for them is unknown, but perhaps one reason is mentally distancing himself from these monsters to not harbor empathy in the event he must fight them in the future. Zack also discovers information about Project G, in which cells of an ancient are implanted into a human fetus, giving them abilities of an ancient. This information, unfortunately, is what begins the decline of Sephiroth's mental state as he hungers for more.
It was Hollander's experiment. The result was a normal child, which meant he failed. However,
in this next scene, we learn that Genesis wasn't healing due to Mako seeping into his wound. Take note of how Sephiroth in a split second is ready to do anything for his friend. As soon as he heard Genesis needed a transfusion, he wanted to help but was turned down.
the wound was superficial. But for some reason, Genesis wasn't healing. The man who treated him was Hollander.
Professor Hollander, how is Genesis?
The problem is the Mako energy that seeped in through the wound.
Is it treatable?
First, he'll need a transfusion. You aren't viable.
Why couldn't I be the donor? A soldier, type G. Project G gave birth to the man we know as Genesis.
Project G.
Project Genesis. Contrary to this report, Genesis showed clear signs of change.
Degrading?
Not only that,
Copies?
abominations.
With Sephiroth learning the truth of Project G, take notice of his vocal tone when he said that line. It sounded fearful and uncertain. It's not often we see Sephiroth show vulnerability like this. To find out the truth about his friend, though, shows that just like Angeal, Sephiroth cares for Genesis all the same.
Sephiroth.
Hollander, I thought I'd find you here.
The degradation process. Only I can stop it.
Genesis.
Pay attention to Genesis' talk of Loveless and how it directly correlates to the situation that is at hand now. Sephiroth's demeanor at seeing his friend at this state is at the very minimum void of any hostility. He swiftly agrees to any demands Genesis makes in a playful manner, though they both know these are just words.
You won't take Hollander.
Zack, go after Hollander.
Yeah.
There is no hate, only joy, for you are beloved by the goddess. Hero of the dawn, healer of worlds.
Loveless again. You never change.
3 friends go into battle. One is captured, one flies away. The one that is left becomes a hero.
A common story.
If we were to enact it, would I be the one to play the hero? Or would you?
It's all yours.
Indeed. After all, your glory should have been mine.
How petty.
In hindsight, perhaps. Now what I want most is the gift of the goddess.
Once again, there's dialogue here, but no voiceovers. Zack and Angeal have met up with Sephiroth, and Angeal asks him if he has lost weight. This is important because this shows Sephiroth is declining mentally. Perhaps it was a Genesis encounter before, and he feels guilt because he couldn't help his friend. Weight loss, especially in someone of his stature, is of course never a good sign. Angeal stated Sephiroth was also in his usual mood. This line compared to the weight one is at odds with each other. I said it because Sephiroth realizes that his friend has noticed a change within him, but does not want him to notice it, especially with other events that are going on. By acting like his usual self, the comment about Sephiroth's weight will naturally be the last thing on Angeal's mind for this foreseeable future.
Mission failed. This goes on your permanent record.
Huh? Sephiroth? Long time no see.
Let the Turks take care of the rest. I was on my way to Modeoheim, but I heard you were in the area.
Lucky me.
While we know Sephiroth isn't the bashful type, we can see at this point he does have respect for Zack to some degree. Since he knows Zack is friends with Angeal, and they are all caught up in this situation with Genesis, he wanted to at least share what he knows. Of course, Sephiroth isn't the type to disclose information without getting some in return, as we will quickly find out.
The situation is not resolved. Genesis copies have been sighted around the world.
That can't be. We wiped out those Genesis copies.
Did Genesis really die? They've been sighted in Midgar as well.
I see.
The slums too. Permission to return. Granted.
Sephiroth smiling in a non-evil manner? I am not sure what is scarier than this.
Yeah.
Take care.
You too. Hey, what's going on in Modeoheim?
The device Hollander was using has been stolen.
Genesis?
Probably. We'll meet again soon.
Notice how Sephiroth is reading the apprehensive Zack's gestures. Just like on the battlefield, Sephiroth is also aware of the people that interact with him. He assures Zack that they will meet again soon, with hope that Genesis is still alive and well.
I'll hold you to that.
The workers have all gone missing. Local soldier operatives have also vanished. The company is dispatching additional operatives to investigate the matter. You and I, that is.
Roger that.
What's wrong?
Well, you know, I thought you found something out about that other matter.
The missing operatives were the ones tracking Lazard. Also, they had reported a strange pod-like device in the area.
Is that Hollanders?
Probably the same device that was stolen in Modeoheim.
Meaning...
Lazard, Hollander.
And Genesis?
We'll have to go see them.
Let's go.
First, go to the soldier floor. We'll depart as soon as you and the rest of the men are ready to go.
Understood.
Our orders are to investigate the reactor. They mention nothing of old friends.
There you have it, people. The line that we've been waiting for. Sephiroth's focus this entire time has been on his friends. By doing as he is told by the higher-ups in Shinra, he can displace any uncertainties about him from their minds. Meaning, if he can do it, he can pursue his most important interests, his friends, Angeal and Genesis. Sephiroth has been following along the best way he knows how to gather intel and remain under the radar. His next line here confirms it. The people he cares about is far more important than some corrupt company.
Depending on what happens, I may abandon Shinra. Until then, I'll remain loyal to Soldier.
Jenova. Interesting. The door is sealed, of course. Jenova.
This is the cause of the malfunction. This section is broken. Zack, go seal the valve. Why did it break?
What is that?
You average soldier members are Mako-infused humans. You're enhanced, but you're still human. But then, what are those things? Their Mako energy levels are exponentially higher than yours.
Are they monsters?
Yes. The Shinra scientist Hojo was the one who created them. Abominations spawned by Mako energy. That's what monsters are.
You said average member. What about you?
This is where the mental breakdown of Sephiroth begins. It seems that line, for whatever reason, connected in his mind to correlate himself and his supernatural abilities to that of monsters or even beyond.
Hey, Sephiroth!
Could it be that I was created the same way? Am I the same as these monsters? I knew ever since I was a child. I was not like the others. I knew mine was a special existence. But this was not what I meant. Am I a human being?
Sephiroth's mind convulses with the facts that everything up until now makes it more than possible that he was genetically altered in some way. He notes that he was different growing up, but he never knew why.
No such luck. You are a monster. Sephiroth, you were the greatest monster created by the Genova Project.
Genesis! So you are alive!
I suppose I am, if you can call this living.
What is the Genova Project?
The Genova Project was the term used for all experiments relating to the use of Genova's cells.
My mother's cells?
Poor little Sephiroth. You've never actually met your mother. You've only been told her name, no? I don't know what images you've conjured up in your head, but...
Genesis! No!
Genova was excavated from a 2,000-year-old rock layer. She's a monster.
As the truth is revealed, and the dots in his mind begin to connect once and for all, take notice of Sephiroth's body language. We know him as this inhumane monster in the rest of the series, but here in this scene he is nothing more than a man filled with despair and learning the truth about Genova and himself. Let me clarify this statement before moving on though. Sephiroth at this time has been told growing up that Genova was his mother and not Lucrezia, so it's only natural he feels the way that he does.
Sephiroth, I need your help. My body is continuing to degrade. Soldier First Class, Sephiroth. Genova Project G gave birth to Angeal and monsters like myself. Genova Project S used the remains of countless failed experiments to create a perfect monster.
What do you want of me?
Your traits cannot be copied onto others. Your genes can't be diffused. Therefore, your body cannot degrade. Share your cells with me. My friend, your desire is the bringer of life, the gift of the goddess.
Whether your words are lies created to deceive me, or the truth that I have sought all my life, it makes no difference. You will rot.
Now, why does Sephiroth shoot down the opportunity to help Genesis here? We know through Crisis Core his main goal was to help his friends and understand the situation they were in, all while learning more about Shinra and its corrupt ways. At this point in time though, Due to the things Genesis has done, Sephiroth unfortunately does not feel as fond of him as he once did. Sephiroth's and Genesis' story in Crisis Core are complete opposites. Genesis in a way has transitioned from evil to tolerable, while Sephiroth after this point goes from honor and fame into a deep descent. It's just that due to Crisis Core's poor writing in some areas, Genesis isn't truly justified as he too is a victim.
I see. Perfect monster indeed. When the war of the beasts brings about the world's end, the goddess descends from the sky. Wings of light and dark spread afar. She guides us to bliss. Her gift everlasting.
No! Stop!
In this final scene, Sephiroth is shown just like in the original Final Fantasy VII, pacing back and forth in an underground laboratory in Nibelheim as he reads about Jenova, which, as stated earlier, was told to him to be his mother since he grew up. Once acquiring this information, Sephiroth sets the town of Nibelheim ablaze and returns to the reactor to obtain his mother.
Mother, let's take back the planet together. I had an epiphany. Let's go to the promised land. Mother.
Sephiroth! Why did you kill the townspeople? Why did you hurt Tifa? Answer me, Sephiroth!
Mother, they're here again.
Sephiroth at this point is completely unhinged and ignores Zack entirely. With the knowledge that his mother was a monster, meaning he is too, he has completely lost self-control. Perhaps this is due to the amount of hatred he now feels towards humanity, as they have trapped him in a web of lies. His whole life, just like Angeal's and Genesis, was manufactured. Imagine living your life up until this point knowing that the person you are was constructed by others to use you as nothing more than a tool. As the scene goes on, notice how Sephiroth will overpower Zack with ease, indicating that in the past, he was far more powerful than what we had thought. He has lost his sense of limitation towards other human beings, whether they're friend or foe.
You should have ruled this planet. You were stronger, smarter, but then they came. Those inferior dullards. They came and took this planet away from you. But don't be sad, Mother. I am with you now. We meet at last, Mother.
Sephiroth! Have you completely lost your mind? Sephiroth! I trusted you!
How dare you?
Cloud, finish Sephiroth off. Sephiroth!
Don't test me! No. Impossible.
In Crisis Core, we are finally provided some background into why certain characters are the way that they are, and in the case of Sephiroth, it does add context into who he was before the events of the original game took place. As we know, people aren't evil, so to speak, from birth. It is during the process of development where certain actions are chosen over others. Of course, the Sephiroth we know of today, or shall I say Sephiroths, are vastly different than the one in Crisis Core. But what is important here is that we as a player got to learn what he was like before his descent. He was the greatest soldier first class of all time, and many in and outside of Soldier looked up to him. Though a bit arrogant at times, Sephiroth rode the wave of his fame with a detached demeanor. While it's sad he turned out the way that he did due to his interaction with Jenova, Sephiroth is one of those villains that even decades later lives on, not just in Cloud's heart, but ours as well. Thank you so much for watching if you made it this far in the video. I do have plans to address more characters in Crisis Core in the future, so feel free to subscribe. Of course, you can leave a comment below about any other characters you would like to see as well. Until the next time though,